Imagine working your entire life, investing in your future, investing in your retirement, doing the right thing, what all the experts told you to do, just to have it all taken away. I'm going to tell you how to stop it from happening to you. Let's go.
One stacker on a journey to find silver. International Stacker.
What's up, guys? International Stacker here. Welcome to my channel. I literally travel the world buying gold and silver, taking you on adventures. We've been all over the place, guys. We've been in a hot air balloon over the dead Valley of the Kings. We've been attacked on the Nile. We've been in Ireland drinking a Guinness together, and the trips are going to keep on continuing, and this is my content. Also, I talk a lot about preparing and preparedness because that's what I do professionally. I work in emergency management, and today I'm going to tell you something shocking. But first, please, 70% of you watching are not subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button, and please help me fight the YouTube censorship algorithm and smash or gently tap that like button. It really helps me a lot. But imagine you had amassed value, currency, money for your entire career just to have it taken away. Not by a robber, but by a hidden tax. This has happened in countless countries and kingdoms around the globe all throughout human history. It happened in France in 1796. It happened in Austria in 1922. Weimar Republic in 1920s. Greece 1940. Hungary 1946. China in 1947, Bolivia in 85, Brazil in the 90s, 09 in North Korea, Venezuela in 2016. It happened in Zimbabwe, it happened in Vietnam, it happened in Mexico, and yes, it even happened in the United States of America. This April, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, hit 4.4%. That was higher than the predictions, and that was the highest monthly inflation rate since 2008. If you take food out of that, and I'm going to tell you what the CPI here is in a second, but if you take the food out of that, it was still 3% inflation. This last month in May, the CPI was over 5%. The forecast was for 4.7. It was over 5%. Again, we broke the record twice in each month. That was the fastest increasing inflation since the year 2008. And we all remember what happened in the year 2008, don't we? But don't worry, guys. Everything's fine. The market's great. As all the big investors, the people, the billionaires and millionaires are getting out of the market, come on, Americans, jump in the market. The water's fine. Excluding the foods from the inflation rate in May, it was 3.8%. So we went from 3% to 3.8% if you exclude food. So what is the CPI? How is it figured? What's figured into it? It includes food. It includes energy. It includes groceries. It includes housing, and it includes sales across the different spectrums of good. What does that mean? Food, you're going to feel that because your food's going to be more expensive. Has anybody been to the grocery store lately? Energy, you're going to feel that. Has anyone looked at the price for gas at the pumps right now? Oh, but it's COVID. It's, I shouldn't have said that word. Hashtag beer flu. Now I'm going to get censored. So smash the like and help me beat the censorship, please. Now, part of that did exacerbate and make things happen a little bit quicker, but this was already happening, folks. This was happening before this. Groceries, housing costs. Has anyone looked at the housing market right now? It's going absolutely insane. And then across all spectrums of different goods, have you been shopping lately? Prices are going up. I want to show you guys something here. If I can get it open. What do I have here? I have here over 500 billion Zimbabwe dollars. These are $5 billion notes. This is 500 billion Zimbabwe dollars. Oh, but that's Zimbabwe. It's an African country. They've been jacked for years. I mean, we expect that of those countries. We don't have to worry about it in the United States or any other advanced countries. Do you know in 1980, one Zimbabwe dollar was worth more than a US dollar? The exchange rate was one of theirs to $1.47 of ours. What happened because of bad policy, which we're seeing, printing money into oblivion, printing currency into oblivion, is a hidden tax called inflation. So in the 1980s, they started having issues in Zimbabwe because they were doing that. So in 1980 since 1980s, the 1980s, their currency was redenominated 3 times, which means you hack off zeros. Why would you have to hack off the zeros? Because the hidden tax of inflation. And stick around for 3 minutes. I'm going to tell you how you're being screwed right now in the United States with this. Don't go anywhere. This is the one video you want to watch. This can literally save you in the future. In 2006, they had 1,000 of their dollars was redenominated. 3 zeros were removed. And now, hey, your $1,000 you worked for the last 30 years to save, it's now worth $1, 1 Zimbabwe dollar. That happened. In 2007, the black market exchange rate for $1, one US dollar was 600,000 of theirs. In 2008, they cut off 9 zeros. So they went from 10 billion to 1. So 10 billion, so that would have been this, 10 billion, all of a sudden the next day, hey, that's worth $1 now in Zimbabwe. It happened again in 2009, 1 trillion to 1. So this is 500 billion, right? So if I had another 500 billion, 1 trillion, that would have equaled one of their new dollars. And then quickly after that, their currency collapsed and was not used anymore, and all kinds of other things happened, which is for another video. But ladies and gentlemen, this is happening right now to you, and you don't even know it. It's like when you put a frog in a hot water or in a kettle, and you turn it up slowly, they won't jump out. Whereas if you throw them in hot water, they recognize it. The same with us. Like in the book of Odysseus and his travels, eating the lotus flowers, listening to the sirens on the island, and before you know it, it's too late. The Federal Reserve's reported normal inflation rate, their long-term goal is 2% per year. That's reported. That's on their website. Since 1913, until I think like 5 years ago, the reported rate was 3.1%. So they're already 1.1% over the reported rate. And the number many believe, including myself, is actually much higher than that. You know when somebody tells you, I used to be able to do something for 35 cents back in the day? Well, guess what? This dollar right here, which is pre-1964, which means it's 90% silver, right now is worth about $22 to $25, depending who you're selling it for, too. So if someone says to you they used to be able to do something for 50 cents, if you took 50 cents of that currency from back then, today that's still worth about $10. This is still worth $10. So things didn't become more expensive. Prices inflated away because metals, gold and silver, were taken out of our currency. That means if you have a 2% inflation rate on a year, and this is going to be a very simple analogy because actually it compounds, but say you have $100 or 100 dimes 1 month, and you have what we just had, 5% inflation, that means you still have 100 dimes after 30 days, but it only has the buying power of 95 dimes. So you still have the same amount, but the buying power decreases, meaning prices get way more expensive because of inflation. So this is a hidden tax on you, the everyday American. And you're the one it hurts because you're the one who can't afford a lawyer to help you find loopholes and do your taxes the right way and make out with paying very little, okay, on your income tax. But still, even if the income tax wasn't a thing, you're still affected by inflation on everyday prices when you go interact out in the community. Now, what can you do? This is the most important part of the video. What can you do to protect yourselves, your families, and protect your wealth? What you've worked, toiled, your blood, sweat, and tears for your entire life to amass, what can you do? You need a hedge against inflation, and that is gold and silver. But yes, it's cryptos. Now, I got my start in cryptos, guys. I was mining Bitcoin in 2014. I was in Litecoin when it was like $10 a pop. I was in Ethereum at like 12, you know. I understand cryptos, but only gold and silver have thousands of years of monetary history. Only gold and silver is actually sitting in your hand and you actually control. Now you can put it in a ledger and cold storage. I know all that, but it's still controlled by the internet. You still need the internet. All you need for this stuff is your hand. It's in your actual hand. You're holding it. If you don't hold it, whether it's metals or emergency food, if you don't hold it, you do not own it. Why else do I say gold and silver? It's what the elites are doing. The central banks are stacking all kinds of gold right now, of every country. Meanwhile, they're telling the population, oh, it's archaic, it's nothing, buy into this, oh, look at this crypto, look at that. This is all a beta test for going a completely digital currency. And why is a digital currency bad? And this is probably another video I'll make. Completely tracked, completely controlled. Right now, you can go buy, sell things to your neighbor. You can have garage sales, all this. The government and the governments and the global elites want to be able to tax everything they can. They want to be able to trace everything they can. That helps them to know exactly what everyone's doing, different trends, to be able to market and get people to consume more. At the very least, it's an invasion of your privacy, and you're going to be completely taxed on every single transaction you do. At the very worst, it could be used against you. Say you want to protest something, and you're going to Sector 9, and they go, oh, everyone in Sector 9, you can't use your currency. Your money's cut off. Oh, IS went to Sector 9 to protest. Okay, let's freeze his accounts and label him under investigation until investigation's done. You don't have access to your money that you're working every day for. This stuff cannot be turned off. This stuff can be banned, but that's when you lose it in a hashtag boating accident, right, guys? And, you know, I think I am going to do a video on this because it was banned. In 1933, Executive Order 6102 required everybody, all persons, to turn in their gold, to take this stuff and turn it into the government. And when they turned this in, they were paid the exchange rate of $20.67. The penalty for not turning it in was either $10,000 or 10 years in prison. And this is 33, guys. 10,000 is like a ton back then. 10,000. Or 10 years in prison if they didn't turn it over. What happened? A lot of people turned it in. A lot of people did it. I'm going to make a video of that. Actually, very few people got actually prosecuted. But as soon as they did that and people turned it in, they revalued the price to 35. So they paid you $20.67, and then immediately changed it to $35 an ounce, which is a way to essentially print more money. Hey, let's make it worth more. Then we have more buying power here. We can do what we need to do. You all know we went off the gold standard in the 70s, and inflation has run even crazier since then. Moral of the story, you got to depend on yourself. You've got to depend on your blood, sweat, and tears, your smarts, your acumen, your expertise to get you through. And if you're listening to so-called experts that are telling you it's fine and telling you to pile things into a paper market that's teetering on the brink of a greater decline, a greater crash than we saw in 2008, because in 2008, we only kicked the can down the road. If you're depending on that, you're going to be one of the shocked persons that wake up and you see the red on the screen, which means there's blood on the streets, and your last 20, 30 years is gone down the drain. It wasn't that long ago where all this currency could have bought you all kinds of things. It wasn't that long ago, folks. It happened in Lebanon. It happened in Zimbabwe. It happened in Venezuela. And it's happened all around the world since and before. And it's even happened in the United States. And it will happen again. The question is, will you be prepared? Will you be a statistic? Or will you be one of the ones who saw it coming and prospered after it occurs? Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. I had someone recently say, man, your videos are doom and gloom lately. Now, I have a lot of fun videos. Come to my live streams. We have fun. We relax. I'll get your minds off things. But how much of a crime would it be for me using my skills and ability, which I've been blessed with, and what I see coming clear as day, but what many don't? What kind of integrity, what kind of person, what kind of leader would I be not to warn you? If even 4% of you prepare, that's 4% of you because of this video that are going to be safe, or that are going to be able to protect yourselves and your family and not be in the bread lines, not be in the soup lines, which we have these days. It's just now on a plastic debit card called EBT. Hope you liked it, guys. Please support my channel. Please subscribe. Please smash that like button. And I guess I'll say, let's make it rain. What am I going to say? Here it is. Catch you on the next one. Woo!
One stacker on a journey.